on DAB digital radio and 1089 and 1053 AM.
The building of a new Britain.
The Late Show with Ian Collins on Talksport.
The world is watching. We've only seen the tip of the iceberg.
Welcome.
I believe we all have a clear duty now.
On Talksport.
Lift off.
We're having a nice old chinwag out there. Is everything all right? Good work. 08717 223344. It's Talksport. If you're emailing, it's talksport.net. If you're texting, it's 81089. And our lines are up. Now, later, I'm telling you, this is going to be a beauty. Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist. Would you say, Laurie, he's the king? Is he the king? He is the king of the conspiracy theorists, and he's with us, and we're going to have some fun with Alex Jones. And well, he's got loads to say. We haven't had Alex on for a little while, so we look forward to that. His people say he's ready. We believe that could be the case. We're hoping he'll be a full show. And schools, this is a classic story, are hiring bouncers for out-of-control classrooms. Nightclub bouncers, former soldiers, ex-policemen are being hired by schools to provide crowd control in class. You heard the like of this? They're being employed as teaching assistants to cover for permanent staff when they're off sick, it was claimed. The annual conference of the National Union of Teachers, biggest teaching union, Britain's biggest teaching union, heard that schools were turning to people with no teaching experience but who would be stern and loud. And of course there's growing concern about the breakdown of discipline in school. Last week it was claimed that as many as 1 in 4 teachers had been a victim of a violent pupil in the past year. I swear that statistic was not there when I was at school. Not anywhere near. I don't believe there would have even been a statistic, and that's not exactly hundreds of years ago. A government report, which is due to be published this week on Wednesday, I think, is going to recommend that schools should make more use of withdrawal rooms, which is likened to sort of solitary confinement in prisons by some, to control the disruptive kids. At the National Union of Teachers conference yesterday, it emerged that one head teacher had hired 2 bouncers from an employment agency to cover supervisors to help take classes when regular teachers were absent. But how does that work? I mean, I love the idea. Johnson, get out the class, otherwise I'll send you to Mr. Eubank. It's a great idea, isn't it? That if your name's not on the door, you're not coming in. You're not properly dressed, sorry. Can you show us some ID? The list goes on. Henry Cooper's teaching geography this afternoon. It's brilliant. PE with Muhammad Ali. This is extraordinary stuff. Apparently the 2 bouncers were taken on by a comprehensive school down in the capital for around about £20,000 a year each. One of the bouncers left after disciplinary action was taken when he fell out with the other teachers. This would be more laughable if it wasn't so seriously funny. Yes. Assembly this morning will be given by The Rock. It's a marvellous thought, this. It could go into all sorts of directions. Speaking after the conference, Andrew Baisley, who's one teacher, said that other schools were advertising for classroom assistants, are you ready for this, with military and police backgrounds. It's about crowd control and childminding, he said. If you were stern and loud, then that's what's necessary to do the job. That is absolutely extraordinary. Is anybody, any parents listening to this who have experience of that? Birmingham, an employment agency, they're called Aspire People, had advertised. Are you ready for this? Okay, this is to work in schools with kids. They advertised for an ex-Marine, prison officer, bouncer, policeman, fireman, sportsman or actor to control the kids in school. Schools are officially banned, apparently, from leaving normal teaching assistants in charge of lessons, but the NUT claims this is widely ignored. At the Teachers' Union annual conference in Cardiff, activists condemn the move as education on the cheap. Well, how bad is it out there?
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders. A new world order.
In this new world, such dangerous currents have swept along faster than our efforts to contain them. And that is why we cannot afford to be divided. No one nation, no matter how large or powerful, can defeat such challenges alone. In this new century, Americans and Europeans alike will be required to do more, not less. Partnership and cooperation among nations is not a choice. It is the only way, the one way, to protect our common security and advance our common humanity.
Well, that is the current U.S. president. He didn't quite say New World Order. Alex Jones is with us from Texas, United States of America. Alex, how are you, sir?
Mr. Collins, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's a pleasure. A little montage we played there just of a couple of your presidents. There was Bush saying New World Order. Obama stopped short of saying the phrase New World Order. Does that mean in Barack Obama we have a man who's going to dismantle the work of the secret societies that you've talked of for many years and everything's hunky-dory again?
Actually, he, in written articles, has called for a New World Order, and on one of the late-night TV shows, he did call for a New World Order. That's actually in my film, The Obama Deception, which, by the way, is absolutely free on the Internet. You just Google The Obama Deception, and it shows how he's bought and paid for by the very interests that control George Bush. But, you know, the establishment has a problem, Ian, because for decades, us supposed conspiracy theorists would read government documents, Club of Rome, UN, Trilateral Commission, RAND Corporation, British Ministry of Defense, saying we're going to set up a world government controlled by a private group of families. You will pay carbon taxes in the name of the environment to this private bank of the world. We'll have a world army, world court. Everything will be controlled. We're going to eliminate the middle class. We're going to have one-child policies in the name of the environment. And then exactly what we kept telling people they were going to do, because we were only reading their own documents, they would just deny it. These were public documents, just not widely publicized. Now they've announced, the solution to the economic crises the banks created, that we pegged 10 years ago would be the derivatives implosion by design, is a new bank of the world that we will pay our taxes to and that will, quote, knock the heads of bad nations like the United States and the UK. That was in Time magazine in an article titled The New World Order. And then the Financial Times of London comes out and says, and now for world government. And they say in the article published by the Bilderberg Group, that's who owns the Financial Times, they brag and say, we kept all this secret world government. And this is not cliche. This is not tongue-in-cheek. They're serious. We kept it secret for your own good, and it is authoritarian, but for your own good. And we're going to save the earth and fix the banking crisis with world government. And then I had Rothkopf on my radio show, the head of the Kissinger Group, bragging. He wrote the book Superclass. Yes, we rule you, but it's for your own good. So see, they think it's too late for humanity. They built the thing. Now they've unveiled it. But see, the public knows that they denied it existed. They know they're a pack of liars because now they're admitting it exists. And so the New World Order is very real, and now the battle is being joined between free humanity and the few thousand globalists setting up world government.
See, a lot of people might say, Alex, well, this is quite a convenient thing. One currency, we haven't got to worry about exchange rates, and one rule, well, that makes sense. If it's wrong to speed in your car in the US, it's wrong to speed in your car in Germany. You know, if there's a guy that's going to run this, he'll doubtless be elected somehow. Where's the big problem here? What's the deal? Why should this be something sinister and something we should worry about?
Well, number one, the globalists told the public none of it existed while they were building it, knowing they were lying, and it is authoritarian. The people running the world government, the private banking families, are eugenicists. They openly say that they want to reduce the UK's population to 30 million, that's your chief environmental minister, by half. They openly say that humans are a scourge. They openly say we should have taxes on more than one child and that babies are carbon monsters. that's a quote, when the West is actually dying, and we only, for every 2 people born that were born in the last half of the last century, they only have 1.5 children on average, so the West is dying.